This is a cam girl trying to cook with as few clothes on as possible to convince boys to pay her money. Watch what happens.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Oh shit, oh fuck, 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 fuck. Oh fuck, 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 fuck. I don't know what to do, guys. I don't know what to do. Shit. Help, help, help.
She is cooking and spots the fire. She starts panicking. She brings the grease fire to the sink, pouring water on it, causing it to grow bigger. I know what you're thinking. This is a channel about politics, and a stupid hoe on the internet isn't about politics. But wait, hear me out, because this perfectly represents the actions of most Democratic politicians. Hello, I am Deadocracy, and thank you so much for trying to follow my crazy thought. When a politician hears of a new problem, the first thing they do is panic that they might be held responsible for whatever has occurred. Politicians fear the blame of not solving this problem, or even worse, being blamed for creating it in the first place. This panic is exactly what the girl did. She was surprised by a new problem and reacted instinctively to this new threat. This caused new and worsening problems. Suddenly, instead of having the fire contained, she has spread it all over the house. Politicians react in the same exact way.
Suffering from politicians' logic.
Something must be done. This is something, therefore we must do it.
But doing the wrong thing is worse than doing nothing.
Doing anything is worse than doing nothing.
This clip from the show Yes Minister calls this panic politicians' logic. Politicians' panic is more fitting a name, as it is this animalistic instinct to act out of fear that makes politicians no different than a wild animal trapped in a corner. Politicians' panic is how we got the civil rights violation of the ironically named Patriot Act in 2001, right after the tragedy of 9/11. The politicians all saw something terrible occur and looked for something to do, even if that something amounted to a destruction of freedoms that no patriot of America would support. It still passed overwhelmingly. Both the awful cook from the first clip and these politicians panicked and made terrible decisions. They should have taken a breath and analyzed the situation calmly. Instead, they made poor decisions and created bigger problems. From COVID to climate change, Democrats react in fear. A virus that kills almost only the elderly arrived on America's shores, and Democrats shut down schools, overreacting to the fears of the teachers' unions. A child sails on her parents' yacht to lecture adults on climate change, and suddenly the U.S. has to cut its economy for the good of the world. A mass shooting occurs, and Democrats panic, demanding Big Daddy government be the only one trusted with guns. Small forest fires get put out for years to help the environment, only to cause the fires to grow exponentially larger, caused by the buildup of fuel that would usually be burned away by the smaller fires. The government refuses to do controlled burns until after widespread destruction that they are terrified of rightly receiving the blame for. Even this news that Roe v. Wade might rightfully be overturned has been met with Democrat hysteria over abortion access. Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, is pushing for easier access to abortion in fear of this decision. The crazy part is that it is already insanely easy to get an abortion in California, and the leaked decision would have no limiting effect in blue states like California. So why is there a frenzy to pass even more relaxed abortion laws? Because politicians' logic. They are frightened into doing something, and this is the only virtue signal they can find. Even the earlier example of the Patriot Act was supported by the vast majority of Democrats. Any reasonable person would assume their rivals would use this huge new power to hurt them. Yet the Democrats didn't think about the inevitable future outcome. They only ran screaming to the kitchen sink in pure panic. Thank you. I have been Deadocracy. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and you can also check me out on Instagram, where I created one of the memes you saw in this video. Remember to critically think about what you do, and please ask your politicians to do the same. These terrified politicians must be prevented from making the world worse. Their panic ruins lives.
Deadocracy.